Well, continuing along and continuing along. Should have filmed it earlier, but went through a patch of those hollyleaf cherries I was talking about. Lots of hollyleaf cherries, full of little cherries. Here's one right here, actually. Has a few left in it. I actually ate one of them, one of the cherries. They are edible. I've had them before. First time I remember having them, I remember being a little bit sweeter. Their taste is kind of, almost like a date-ish, kind of like a date-like taste, a little bit. So fruit is mostly pit, but there is a little bit of flesh surrounding the seed pit. It's not bad. It's not like those Bing cherries or those maraschino cherries you're used to, but it's a cherry in the genus Prunus. And here we got a ashy silk tassel, or pale silk tassel. This is Garia flavescens, which is quite common in the San Gabriels. I haven't seen a lot of it today, but it's one of at least 3 species of Garia that grow here in the San Gabriels. Here we are. Look at that. They're cherries. What can I say? This is actually a true cherry plant. It's not like the other cherries that shed their leaves in the fall, but the fruit is a drupe. It's got a thin flesh and a lot of seed. Don't chew the pits. This one was a little sweeter. So, come fall, you got a little trailside snack. There is a very slight bitter aftertaste. Very slight. But it's not enough to make it gross. For a lot of people who have very refined palates, maybe those people might not like it too much. But I'm gonna say it's a wild edible. Here's another Garia flavescens, recovered very nicely from the station fire. So this trail has a lot of cool little treats as you're hiking along it. I know there was one spot in one of these little shady folds that even had imbricate sword fern. What type of a sword fern? Polysticum imbricum subspecies curtum. I haven't seen it again this time. Maybe it's still up ahead. But we're starting to get closer to the saddle, where the real work's going to begin. That's Strawberry Peak right there. Like I said, I've never been up this side of Strawberry, which requires a few pitches of class 3 rock scrambling. But there's a saddle right there. I'm almost at the junction, but I'm going to be heading left going up this way up to Mount Lawlor. And if I have enough energy, so I'm sure the climb up there is going to be hot and energy sapping. I'm pretty sure. I remember the climb up to Strawberry was. It's a pretty tough climb once you get to that saddle. But I should be there pretty soon. However, the Strawberry Peak Trail continues around the north flank of Strawberry Peak, and it dips down to Strawberry Potrero, which is basically Spanish for meadow or pasture. There's a little meadow area. Definitely received some damage in the station fire. I've seen videos and photos of it, but Supposed to be some nice pines down there. I think some I know Coulter pines, but I think ponderosa pines might be down there too. And bighorn Douglas fir. This is what I was talking about. Polysticum imbricans subspecies curtum, the imbricate sword fern. I've seen that a good few times on my hikes. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember seeing it along this trail, and there it was. A couple patches of it here. You could tell the chaparral's a lot taller. You could tell it used to be oak woodland here. These canyon live oaks burned. Of course, they've since resprouted, obviously. As you can see here, the new shoots that came out from the root crowns. So this area will become woodland once again in time. I mean, it's already on its way there. And of course, we had all these southern deerbrush ceanothus come up, which is very common to see thickets of ceanothus pop up like crazy after fire. But pretty close to the saddle. So if you want to get to Strawberry Potrero or Strawberry Meadow, you just keep following this trail behind Strawberry Peak, and that'll take you downhill along the north-facing slope and then down towards the little meadowed area. It's supposed to be beautiful over there. I've never been there myself, but I've seen pictures and video of it, and it's pretty nice. But like I said, my goal today, at least the main event, is going to be climbing up Mount Lawlor, but depending on what kind of energy is left, might go for Strawberry Peak as well. Definitely keeping that in mind. We'll see how the climb up to Mount Lawlor goes. So it has not taken me very long to get to this point, simply because of the fact that this trail is very easy. Very easy. You have some ups, some very slight undulations, and some relatively level stretches like this. So getting to the saddle for just about anybody is pretty easy. It's just once you leave the saddle and start climbing up the fire breaks and use trails, then that's where things start getting tough. The way up Strawberry Peak involves some very steep class 1 hiking. There might be a couple spots where maybe a hand balance might do you well. Trekking poles would probably be a good idea. So just be aware of that. But just about to hit the saddle. I'm almost there right now. Less than 2 minutes away on foot. So it's nice to get a little more shade in before the hot, sweaty climb begins, because it'll be a lot more exposed going up to Mount Lawlor. I think there might be some class 2 sections, I believe, going up to Mount Lawlor, but I'm not sure. I don't think any class 3 climbing is required, but I think there might be a few class 2 spots. I mean, when you go up used trails and fire breaks, sometimes there are big rocks in the way, and you gotta scramble up and over them or around them. So it's always something to look out for. Alright, so there's Strawberry. That's still about 900 feet higher than where we are now. And we have, I don't know if we have any ups and downs, but elevation gain from here to Strawberry Peak is about 1,000 feet, because there are a couple of small downhill pitches along the way. So remember, when you go up and over the use trail, you have some ups and downs along the way. So just be aware of that. Like I said, it's not as hard as the other side where you're supposed to be doing a couple of pitches of class 3. Now we got views to the back country now. We have views over towards Barley Flats. So this is the saddle I've been talking about. Now, to get to Strawberry Potrero or Strawberry Meadow, you're going to go ahead and branch off over here, and it's going to take you downhill. I believe the meadow is at about 4,400 feet elevation, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's about the approximate elevation. This is the use trail to get to Strawberry Peak, and this is the one where you're going to go up and down, and then up, 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 up. Now, let's see. Now I got to see if I can find the use path, and I believe this is it. This said, I'm getting here, turning left goes to Strawberry, turning right, it's going to take you up this firebreak to Mount Lawlor. This is where the real work begins. Depending on, just assuming that there are no downhill stretches along this firebreak, I would assume I have about 700 feet of elevation gain, maybe 800. The saddle's at about 5,200 feet. Mount Lawlor's 5,957 feet. So I'm just going to say probably about 800 feet of elevation gain from here. So got to start following this up. Probably not going to film a whole lot. I will film a couple small segments, only because the sun glare is going to be ridiculous, and I'm going to have to focus on where I put my hands and feet. But now you got a nice view of the backcountry, and we got that peak there. That's Granite Mountain, 6,620 feet. It's hard to see, but this triangle-shaped peak in front of the ridge, that's Round Top at 6,316. Then we got Pacifico Mountain at 7,124. Then we got the Mount Hillary area over there, which is about the top of about 6,200 feet. And then we got Waterman Mountain, Twin Peaks, west and east. Then we got Pleasant View Ridge and Will Ferrall Peak out there. So, get some pretty interesting perspectives. Okay, so now I'm beginning my climb up to Mount Lawlor, which means looking out for poodle dog bush again, and keeping on this use trail. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of bushwhacking, but I'll see you up on the way there. Parting shot towards Mount Lukens. So I'll see you at the next update pretty soon.